You know, I just love recreating scenes like this from the Cars movies, and they really make me wish that I was better at making stop motions because I have all the necessary equipment, all the necessary cars to recreate these scenes, these iconic scenes from the movies, but man, they're just so time consuming and I honestly just don't have the time nor patience for that, and I really applaud the people that do. But anyways, that is not what this video is about, although I did have fun recreating the opening scene from Cars here. We're only focusing on one of the characters in this ginormous shot, and that is Bernie Banks over here. This is a custom by Jim Scavenger, so shout out to him. He did a wonderful job with it. It was actually quite the grueling process. I mean, not only you have to drill holes in this car, you gotta change the mouth plate, you gotta change the expression. We'll get into all that later, but he did a phenomenal job. And I just really want to highlight that. I'm very impressed with the final product here. Second point, Bernie Banks was actually canceled in 2010. The only image that we have of it, the only stock image, is from Take 5 a Day. They posted it on their website with that giant watermark that, man, I just love. Oh, I hate it, to be honest, especially for images that you just can't get anywhere else. Like, I don't mind if you watermark, I don't know, a picture in a Target store, right? But something that you can't get anywhere else and that they really much, I mean, I understand why they did it, but they have exclusivity over it. And the only image you got there is a Take 5 a Day 1. 2010, probably a final lap single. It's just not really kind of seen in the same way as Bertha Butter's Wagon, Benny Caliper, some of those other canceled final lap singles that actually made it out. Like, there were actual tangible unreleased copies of it, of course, that I've reviewed on my channel. I've shown you guys before. There are none of Bernie Banks, at least none in the last 13 years now, that have poked their head out of the factory and have arisen in some way, shape, or form. We just have that image, and it looks great. You know, it's a good looking car. Unfortunately, though, never made by Mattel. That's why we have customizers, though. Oh, and yeah, there's the official image, the official screen cap from the movie. He's peeking his head around Mack's trailer to try and get a good shot. Probably getting a really good side shot, you know, right here as McQueen is arrogantly, cockily exiting, I guess that's a word, exiting his trailer. Oh my gosh, McQueen was such a jerk during this part of the film. It was honestly hard to watch because you knew that him being a jerk actually led to his demise. Like, he could have easily won, I feel, this Piston Cup race. He could have ended it all, you know, won the entire season right then and there if he just refilled his tires, right? That's all you need, or just got new tires. So this is a Swift Alternator model. Super, like, there's no denying that Bernie, see, this is what I don't like. I don't like that they did Bertha and Bernie in the same year, but whatever. At least they canceled them both. Is undeniably the same model as Swift Alternator here, so you just had to acquire one of these. First problem is Swift Alternator is a little rare on the $30 side, but that was, you know, one of the easier problems that we had to overcome. Finding the color, always going to be an issue, you know, no matter what it is. I'm pretty happy with the outcome here. It's a nice coffee bronze, almost more of a brownish metallic, I guess you would say, instead of bronze. It just looks really good. It looks pretty accurate to me. And then drilling the holes for the camera, because Swift Alternators obviously does not have any holes like that, so you have to drill that. We got a camera off Bert, so Bert donated his camera. Very nice of him. Thank you, Bert. And then I requested to change the expression because I thought if you just had this expression, it wouldn't look really accurate at all. It wouldn't look right to me. And I truly only wanted to have the eyes, but to do the mouth as well is fantastic. And since Swift has such an exuberant, boisterous expression right here, it definitely makes sense to change it. Like, if it was more of an expression, like, I don't know, Sarah Wilson over here has just got a typical grin, it would be kind of okay to just leave that as is. But when you have that gigantic gaping smile there, I'm glad that Jim Scavenger was able to change it to just a much more stoical, kind of poised expression here, which is difficult because this is a plastic model plate that, he had to sand and carve and all that stuff. So thank you again to him. If you're watching this, I do appreciate your efforts greatly. But yeah, you can see that the headlights are pretty much the same. That hood emblem is the same. Again, the camera is the same as... Wait, no, it's not Bert's camera. Whose camera is this? What? I thought this was Bert's camera. Honestly, it looks more like Human's camera, but still not the same because Bernie's got this little silver piece down here. I could have sworn he told me he used a Bert. I'm just bamboozled right now. Actually, you know what? It probably was a Copper. Yeah, that's what it was. It had to have been a Copper because this here is a repaint of Copper. It's a custom repaint of her, and the cameras... Wait, again, you have that silver part right there that's not over here. Wow, I couldn't be more confused right now in my own video. It's like I have my pants down in front of you guys. Wow, all right. Oh, I don't know what camera he used in that case. It's a unique one, but it's pretty accurate to the one that you see him having in that stock image there and in the movie. By the way, let's make sure that doesn't fall out. It's getting a little loosey-goosey right now and all the excitement. There we go. Got the same wheels as Swift Alternators. Very transparent windows there. You can see right through them. Just cloudy. Of course, there's probably an interior piece in there as well. Roof rack's still there. And let's check out what he did for the license plate. B. Banks 522. Oh, no. B. Banks 22. So, Bernie Banks 2022. Awesome license plate. Of course, referring to the year 2022 that he made this in. I was considering holding this one off and reviewing it during the 12 days of Christmas, but this is, a big project that I want to give spotlight to and highlight. It's something that I've wanted for a long time. In fact, there was a customizer, the same customizer who did this custom, cars and stuff. He's got an eBay store, and I don't know if he still makes customs, but either way, he did this custom, and he's done a ton of customs, actually. They are absolutely not the same quality, in the same realm even as Jim Scavenger. But he did a Bernie Banks with the Swift Alternators model and everything, and I actually really wanted it. It was just a little bit too much, in my opinion, for the quality. In fact, it was worse quality and more expensive than Jim Scavenger's Bernie Banks here, and that was like 3 years ago before all this inflation. 3130 EAA, so the 313th day of 2010. Let's see how close it is. Wow, whoa, that is freaky. These guys remain on the same day. Let me explain why that's so crazy. So I just got the Swift Alternators in a Target in 2010 when I was 9 years old. The fact, let me just say, not all the Swift Alternators they've made were made on the same day, so I would say that's a pretty cool coincidence. I'm sure they made quite a few of them on the same day. Maybe 1,000. I don't know, maybe more than that, maybe less, but certainly not all of them. And there are probably over 10,000 Swift Alternators. Definitely maybe doesn't seem like that because his price is a little high on eBay relative to the other Final Lap releases, like Johnny, Jamie, Milo. Those guys are all like $10. Valerie V8, $10. Swift Alternators got up there a little bit. And that's okay. Some things are going to be rarer than others. At least it's not as rare as race damaged mood springs. Now, I am really flipping out that I do not know what camera he used. If I find out, there'll be like a post-credit clip to this, as there usually is. After I say bye now, you never truly know if it's the last scene in the video or not. But yeah, he stacks up nicely. He looks good with the rest of the squad here. What I don't like about a lot of the camera crew from Cars 1 is that they're all like the same color palette. You have Hauser Boone here, who's super forlorn. He was only released once in a 9-pack, and he wasn't even labeled exclusive. That's actually pretty funny. You get a car, only released once, in a multi-pack, and they don't label it exclusive. That's insane. At Target, too. He's got a big lens on his camera. Here you have Human, so he's like an orange, brighter, but still like kind of that same color palette. And you have like Bert, who's just gray and kind of boring. Yeah. Dashboardman's a nice emerald green color. Tiny camera, tiny car. Of course, the two Cars 1 reporters they released in 2021 were Sarah Wheelson. She had this nice, unique camera, more of a video camera, as she works for RSN specifically. And then Derek Williams over here just has a measly microphone, but I do love his rims, and he's a brand new unique model, whereas Sarah was not. But they're just all boring colors. You know, you got like a yellow beige over here, you got white. It's kind of like a metallic pearl, but still. And then even my customs, you know, are just like the same color as Swift Alternators almost, just like a light green, and then you have a sparkly green, but it's almost the same as Dashboardman. It's like, why don't we have any red reporters or purple or pink or whatnot? You know, Andrea over here is like a maroon, kind of fits in the brown category. Maddie was that light blue, so she's all right. I'm really trying to think of what other cameramen they have done. Like, I know I didn't pull them all out. Like, I don't have Cora Copper out, but I have, of course, the repaint of her. They did Studs McGirdle, but he has like a giant camera like this. Who else did they do? Bert. Man. I know you guys are probably commenting like, it's so-and-so's camera. I can't believe you didn't get that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. Actually, let's take a look real quick before we end off the review at Swift Alternator's license plate. TGID 635, no idea what that means. Yeah, props to Jim Scavenger for switching it out. Swift Alternators is the only car officially released to have that model, so he is unique, but there are a couple other SUVs similar with roof racks, but they happen to be bigger. You know, you have Murphy here from Sarge's Boot Camp. He's the exact same model pretty much as Benny Breakdrum. I always got confused, like, why were there so many cars from Cars 1 released toward the end of the like 2006 to 2010 era, where it was strictly Cars 1 with the initials BB, two of which were canceled, I guess. You know, Butlerswagen, Bernie Banks, but then you have Benny Breakdrum, which is really confusing. You have Kit Rebster here, who's probably the most similar model because it's a little bit more in that same size. Both have mouth plates, which are kind of ugly. And then you have Marco Axelbender, one of the security vans. Richard Clayton Kensington's the same model as him. Same everything except for the expression. Really wish he had taillights, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, McQueen would totally roll down, but I used tape. Like, there's blue painter's tape underneath him. So if you guys were curious about that, probably not, but I feel like some people might actually ask that. So I wanted to answer that. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thanks to Jim Scavenger for sticking with this tough, difficult project. He really did a wonderful job with it. I couldn't be more impressed. Just, you know, a character that was canceled. I've always wanted it, and I'm just super happy to see it come to fruition. And thank you guys again. I'll see you soon for another sexy review. Bye now. Yep, that didn't take long. I just went back over to my collection and bam, Tim Rimmer, like the only cameraman I didn't pull out. Of course, that's just my luck. Like, I literally pull out all the camera cars I have, except for like Maddie and Tim Rimmer. And Tim Rimmer was the one I needed. But yeah. Exact same camera, no ifs, ands, or buts. Could have sworn Jim Scavenger said he used Bert, but maybe he got mixed up, or maybe I got mixed up. No big deal though. Tim Rimmer is kind of boring to me. Again, he's got that same like yellow beige color almost as Sarah Wheelson. He's the same model as Bert. The only thing that makes him kind of exciting is his yelling mouth. Like, he's literally got like a bubbling mouth because he's so upset at Chick Hicks for being a cheater. Cheater, cheater, pants on fire. Isn't that what they used to say? All right, guys. See you later.